What's up, everybody? Pastor Wyatt here with another apologetics video for you. Today we're going to be talking about the teleological argument, or the Watchmaker argument. So imagine for me, you're on a hike, and as you're going on this hike, you trip over a rock. Now you might ask yourself, how did this rock get here? And unless there's some other reason, we might assume that this rock has been here forever. But imagine you are on this hike and you stumble across a watch. How did this watch get here? Could we assume the same thing as the rock, that this watch has just been laying here forever? Most likely not. Somebody probably left it here on accident, and it's certainly the case that this watch had a watchmaker. Somebody made it. Now, I don't have to know who the watchmaker is. I don't have to know how he made the watch. I don't have to know all the intricacies that went into building the watch. This watch could be broken. It could be missing pieces. This watch could be blemished. But the fact remains the same. This watch had a watchmaker. Okay, well, let's say we discover that this watch is special. This watch is actually able to reproduce and create other watches. Now, how does that change things? Well, we might think maybe this watch came from another watch. This watch might create more watches to come. But the question is, would this discovery change our conclusion that this watch must have had a watchmaker? Well, the evidence for this watch having a watchmaker hasn't changed. It's still obvious this watch was created with purpose. This watch still has intricacy and mechanisms to it beyond just a rock. What we might say instead is that discovering this watch can reproduce doesn't take away from the fact that it needs a watchmaker, but instead that the watchmaker is quite extraordinary to be able to create a watch that reproduces. Now suppose, on your hike, you come across another hiker. All the mechanisms that go into making up the human body are incredibly complex, far surpassing that of the watch. But just like the watch, just because this hiker has a mother and father and could go on to have their own children, does that for a second detract that this hiker must also have a maker? Every evidence of design that we see in the watch is even more evident in that of human life. If we were to say that this watch must have a maker, the complexity that goes into human life must demand a far greater and more brilliant creator. Thank you.